Spelt is a species of wheat which has been grown in Europe from the Bronze Age to medieval times and was the first use of a type of species of wheat in bread baking. Today, however, it's used as a specialty grain. It's very high in protein, and it also has gluten, not as much as the wheat we use today in bread baking, but it has enough gluten to make bread. Folks who don't tolerate gluten very well may get along better with Spelt. However, it still has gluten, and therefore celiacs should avoid Spelt products. Spelt is higher in protein than traditional wheat flour, and it's a bit fussier to work with. But patience will pay off as you'll create a sweet and nutty bread that adds to your baking repertoire. For one loaf of bread, we're going to need about 2 cups of water, about a teaspoon to 2 teaspoons of yeast, about 4½ cups of spelt flour, a 1/4 cup of vegetable oil, a tablespoon of sweetener, and a teaspoon of salt. The utensils we'll use are a 2-cup measure, a thermometer, a mixing spoon, a 1/4 cup measure, a tablespoon, a teaspoon, and a ceramic bowl. And of course, you'll need a bread pan. We're using a 1-pound bread pan, and we'll be putting 2 pounds of bread in it because whole grain breads are a little more dense than white breads. The first step is to mix the water at 115 degrees with the yeast and the sweetener. When bubbles have formed, showing that the yeast is active, add the flour, about 2½ cups. When everything is well mixed in, put onto rice for about 45 minutes or to double in size. I've let the sponge rise a couple of times, and now we're ready to make the dough. So first, let's add the oil and the salt and about 2 cups of flour. When the dough no longer sticks to the sides of the bowl, you're ready to turn it out and knead it on the counter. When the dough no longer sticks to the counter after several kneadings, then it's ready to go on to rise again. Once the dough has doubled in size, we're ready to put it in the pan and put it on for its last rising. Take the dough out of the bowl, form a ball, and put it in an oiled pan and put it on to rise. While your bread is rising, preheat the oven to 400 degrees. When our loaf is about doubled in size, or after about 40 to 50 minutes, put it in the oven at 400 degrees for about 35 to 40 minutes. When the bread is golden brown, take it out of the oven, empty it out of the pan, and let it cool. Enjoy it.